Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Figma Sword Art Online 2 YUUKI figure, which wasn't exclusive, but then they put it up on the Good Smile shop, so I'm very happy to finally have it. And say what you will about the SAO anime, the SAO figures are all very well done, and this one may even be the best. It's a very, very well executed, very cool figure indeed. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. This figure stands just under 13.5 centimeters, not counting that little flip of hair, which makes her just about, well, just over 5 inches. So she's got a little bit of shortness going on, but that's okay. She's not supposed to be very big. And she's very well detailed. She's a very complex looking figure, and the design is executed very well, surprisingly well, I have to say. I was not expecting it to be as good as it is, to be completely honest. Figma nailed it. The paint jobs are very clean. I mean, sure, there are some issues, like if you look at her belt right here, the lines aren't perfectly clean, but definitely clean enough, I would say. And then the sculpt is just fantastic, so very, very interesting looking figure, very well executed. Before we talk about the figure anymore, though, let's talk accessories. We have 3 different face plates. We have the standard one that comes on the figure in the package, one with the eyes closed, and one angry one for an action pose, which is pretty nice. We have a few different hands. We have the 2 fist hands. We have 2 style pose hands, 2 gripping hands, another gripping hand, and 1 hand for poking people in the eyes. And then we have a bonus set of hands, which is 1 hand for her and 1 hand for Asuna, which obviously you need the Asuna figure for, or it's going to look kind of weird, but that's just where they're holding hands. So that's kind of cool. We have the wings, which are semi-translucent and posable, so that's pretty nice. We have a little tab to hold the wings on if you don't want to use the flight stand, so that's a nice touch. We have the sword, and we have the sword hilt, so that you can put the hilt into the scabbard on its own. And we have some kind of small burrito. Obviously, that's not really a burrito. I just wanted to say burrito. And then we have the Figma display stand. So definitely a nice variety of accessories, more than enough to make her a fun figure to pose and to put on a shelf. So let's talk about the posability. That's always an important issue with these import figures. I want to start off by mentioning the hair. I really like the way they executed the hair on this. Now, they normally have the soft hair on top like this and then the articulated hair on the bottom, but this one has a few extra pieces of the soft hair that don't move, and it sticks down just a little bit farther. So technically, it impedes the articulation of this hair a little bit, but not so much because it's flexible, but it also makes it a little bit more seamless. Having these extra pieces of hair here make it look really nice. So we do have the hinge back here for the hair, which will allow it to move around. You can technically move it from side to side also, though I don't really see a good application for that, but going up and down is definitely going to be helpful, and you can do that. For the neck, we have our standard Figma neck joint, so it'll rotate around in the neck, it'll rotate around in the head, and you have the hinge, and it's very well seated. Sometimes we get the ones that make the head look like it's way too high. This isn't one of those, so that's good. And if you look very closely in there, you can see her headband. We have the back part of her headband down here, which is a soft piece, and it's on both sides. Very nice that they snuck that in there. Very well executed. I love it. They did such a good job with this figure. We have the standard Figma shoulder, which is a ball peg where the arm connects to the torso. Then we have our bicep swivel right there, and that's technically a ball hinge, so you can raise the arm up all the way. You can really pose this thing however you want with no problems. This piece right here is just soft plastic that's kind of floating around, so it's not going to get in the way at all, and it shouldn't break unless you pull on it, and you shouldn't be pulling on it, so no problems there. Technically, we have another swivel, I believe, at this purple part, but it's kind of hard to do that without getting the rest of the shoulder to swivel, so you don't really have to worry about that. I could even be wrong, to be completely honest. My fingers are a little bit too big to get in there right now, but I was playing with it last night, and it seemed like there's a swivel here. So it could be, it could not be. Don't hold me to it, but it's not necessary if it isn't there, and if it is there, it's not necessary, but it's a nice bonus. For the elbows, we just have a standard single joint, but you get really good range out of it. The elbow could look a little bit better. The plastic's too dark for the joint, and it's a little out of place in terms of the sculpt, but it's not terrible. I mean, you're not going to notice it too much once she's posed, so it's not a deal breaker by any means, but it could be better. For the wrists, we have our standard ball hinge also, and the way they did it is nice because the ball hinge is the same thickness as the wrist for the most part, so you're going to get really good range out of it, and it's not going to look too bad other than the fact that the joint is too dark again. I don't know why they did that. That's a little strange to me, but definitely not a deal breaker. For the torso, we have a double ball peg in underneath this light purple part, which is a separate piece from the dark purple part, so that'll flex around, but it moves really well. You can lean her pretty much however you want to. Anything within the natural realm of leaning, she can do it. So that's really nice. I like that a whole bunch. Her scabbard is on a swivel, so you can move that around based on how you want to pose her. And that's just the hilt that I have pegged in there, so you can see that. Now, this part of her skirt is not articulated at all. I do kind of wish it was, but at the same time, I'm glad that it's not because it looks better than if it had been articulated. This back part is, though, and you can actually see the joint back here. So it has the standard Figma joint, so you can lean it back, no problem at all. And you can technically move it around side to side some, but since the rest isn't articulated, you probably don't want to do that. Just lean it back if you want to put her in like a dashing pose or something like that. Now for the hips, it's a little hard to get in here to show you, but I can just tell you they are on a ball peg. Hopefully you can see in there. So you can see the hip itself is on a ball peg and the thigh can rotate around on top of that ball peg. So you have decent range technically, but due to the fact that this is all sculpted and not articulated, you're really not going to be able to do much with the legs. They can move around fine within the realm of that skirt, but that's about it. So, you know, it's going to be limited. There's not much you can do about that. I will say I really like the paint job on the legs. I didn't mention that earlier. That's pretty cool. We have our standard Figma knee joint, which looks good, works fine, but again, not going to be very well utilized. And then lastly, we have our standard Figma ankle joint, which again works really well. And you will probably be able to use the ankles pretty well to get her into a decent pose. You can get a nice ankle rocker out of there, and they lean pretty far forward and pretty far back. So other than the hips being limited by the skirt, which is really no way around that unless you wanted it to be incredibly bulky, I think they executed this figure phenomenally well. It's a really cool character design, and it's a pretty cool character if you're into SAO, and if you're not, then you're probably not watching this video anyway. Or at least you haven't gotten into it yet, in which case I suggest you watch it. It's not great, it's about half bad, but the good parts are really good, so I recommend it. And I recommend this figure. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos up every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure you come back for that. Make sure you click that little bell icon so that you get notifications of my uploads. If you don't do that, YouTube may not tell you I have a new video, and then you're going to miss out. So don't do that. Click the bell, click the subscribe button, and in the meantime, keep collecting.